Welcome back, everyone. Hey, it's time to book your movie tickets for the weekend. But before we pull out your wallet, we're going to tell you what's worth your money.
Joining us now is our film critic, Tracy Mangum. Welcome back.
Good morning.
It is Friday.
It's Friday.
Not a ton happening at the theaters, but everyone's eyeing Dune.
There's a really big one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, but you want to start off with another movie first.
There's a fun little movie. It's called No Way Up, and it is basically sharks on a plane.
You think that's a fun movie?
Okay, let's take a clip.
You think we have?
We're sliding down, man!
We're running out of air. Should we try to swim out the hole?
Or what about the sharks?
Do you think we can make it out of here?
I have to try.
There's a hatch.
Look, they come to save us!
So we have, in this movie, we have Ava. She is the daughter of the governor of California, and she and her friends are on a plane ride out to Mexico to enjoy some spring break, and there is a plane crash. They end up at the bottom of the ocean on a ravine, and they have an air bubble that gets trapped. So they are able to survive, but unfortunately, they're sharks.
There's a great white
There's a great
Huge. It's like Jaws' nephew or something.
Yeah, so not only is there a shark, but you're in a trapped space with limited air, including a child on the plane that you have to take care of. So it's a fun little thriller. It's a combined space. I'm a sucker for a good shark movie, and this one surprised
On a
me.
plane,
Yeah,
of course.
sharks on a plane. But it's actually the budget is pretty good. The effects are pretty good. A lot of times when you get into these types of films, it gets really silly. Like Sharknado, I'm a big fan of the Sharknado just
You just
because
gotta
it
buy
is so
into
silly.
it.
Exactly. This one takes itself a little more seriously. I wish that it would have gone into the camp just a little bit more, but it's enjoyable. It's on Amazon Prime and available for rent on Vudu, Apple TV, stuff like that. I gave it a B-. It's a fun little film.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
The
for a
title
movie.
says No Way Up.
Yes.
And
no
I thought you were going to
spoilers.
give the
No
ending.
spoilers.
No
No
spoilers
spoilers.
if they get up or not, but
Okay, Tracy, we got to talk about this huge movie that we know is going to probably break the box office
Yep.
here. So let's talk about Dune. Do we want to take a quick look?
Let's take a look.
Okay.
My family's been fighting them for centuries.
Your blood comes from dukes and great houses. Here, we're equal. What we do for the benefit of all.
Well, I'd very much like to be equal to you.
Maybe I'll show you the way.
Star-studded cast here.
absolutely. It's packed. If you thought the first one had a lot of stars, we add more in this one. We had Florence Pugh, we had Christopher Walken, Austin Butler, who played Elvis.
Timothée Chalamet. Zendaya.
Yeah, the list just goes on and on and on. This is a direct sequel to Part 1 of Dune. So this came out several years ago. If you have not watched Part 1 in a while, I would either do a recap, and we'll talk about a recap here in just a second, or I would rewatch the first one because there is no catching up. They just start you right off where the first one ended.
So you would be lost if you don't have some type of background.
I think they do a good enough job that you could go into it, but you won't really enjoy it, I don't think. Because
You
there's
probably
so
couldn't.
much that happens in the first one.
And the characters are a lot more developed in this
Absolutely.
second one.
Yeah, and Zendaya gets a lot more room to play. She was only in the first one for a few minutes, so she
Okay.
gets a lot more to work with
So
in this one.
what do you remember if you did you like the first one?
I did. I gave the first. It's hard because the first one is kind of the first half. It's not its own movie. It's half of a movie. I gave it an A-. This one I also give an A-. A few minor quibbles, but this is a big space opera. This is dealing with a planet that has spice, which it's the only planet in the entire galaxy that has this, and you need it for interstellar space travel. So it's the most important planet.
It's
You
like
have-
the gold that
It is
you
the gold or
need.
the oil that you have to have, and you've
okay.
got two families who were fighting over this for the Emperor, who you meet as Christopher Walken.
Yes.
What
in
is this
film.
rated? What is
This is PG-13. There's some violence. But it's just sci-fi violence. See this one on an IMAX screen. See this on the biggest screen you can. It's a big spectacle. It's going to do huge at
there's
the box
romance
office.
there too.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya.
You know
and
this.
Well, you saw the trailer. They
I
were
just saw that. There's a little smooch.
There's action. There's adventure. There's romance. There's giant sandworms.
The worms, do they look, I mean, is it believable?
Yes.
Oh.
See it on the biggest screen you can. It is incredible special
Wow.
effects.
Tracy gives it an A-, so worth going to the theaters this weekend. Movies that make us.com. see all the reviews that Tracy and Val have.
Absolutely.
Before you go see